Welcome, welcome, welcome to Miss Lisa's YouTube channel where we learn about all things exciting math and science. And this video is a calculator lab for Algebra 2. But anybody who has a TI-84 who wants to learn how to do this is more than welcome to join us. What we're doing is in our book, page 25. And it is using a table to solve equations. So I'm going to show you that, but I'm also going to show you how to use a graph to solve equations because I don't like using a table to solve equations. And like most things with these calculators, there's more than one way to do it. All right, so this is a huge, huge skill for you to have with your TI-84 graphic calculator. This is legal. And this is how you can use your calculator to solve equations for you, how to make it solve for x. One of my kids on the ACT was able to do problems they really didn't know how to do and get the right answer because they knew how to do this on their calculator. So this is allowed in college, it's allowed on the SAT, it's allowed on the ACT, and it's a huge life hack on how to get the answer out of your calculator. Okay, so any equation where you've got an equals, and it could be weird and have logarithms or whatever, but if it has an equals and it has just x in it, you can use your calculator, or just one variable, you can use your calculator to solve for x. Okay, so what you do is you put one side of the equation in for y1 into your calculator and the other side in for y2. Now, what do I mean by that? Go over to your calculator and turn it on with that button. I've got all kinds of stuff, so I'm going to use the clear button to clear it out and make it look prettier. And now I'm going to go to that y equals button. If I had anything in here, I would clear it out with the clear button, but I don't. So on this y1, sorry, I try not to make y'all car sick and throw up. For y1, I'm going to enter the first half of my equation, which is 7x minus 2. So I go over here and I push 7. And now to get x, you use that button, xt theta n. And because of how I have it set, it's going to come up with an x, and that's the regular setting. So that's what yours should be too. So it's 7x minus 2. Minus is this one. Minuses go in the middle of equations. You can remember that because minus and middle both start with the letter m. So it's minus 2. Okay, now we use our arrow keys and go down to the next line, and we're going to put in the other half of the equation, 4x plus 13. So back over here, 4x plus 13. Now, my favorite way to do this at this point is to graph it, but that's not what your book's showing you. So I'll show you their way first, and then I'll show you my way. Okay, so what they want you to do is go look at it under table. Table is the second of graph. So I hit second, graph, and here's the table. The answer is going to be where these two columns are equal to each other. And if you look at 5, oops, my table is all crazy because I taught this to another class, and that's where they needed theirs. So because my table's all crazy, I need to set it. And how I set it is right there where it says table set. It's the second of window. So I go back over here, and I want it to start at 0. So I just push 0 and enter. You don't erase, you just write over. And I want my table to change. A triangle in math and science is the Greek letter delta, and it means change or difference in. So I want my table to change by 1. So I'm just going to put 1, and there it is. So now I'm going to go try it again. Second table. And I'm looking for where these numbers are the same. If you look at 5, they're both 33 at 5. And that means that the answer is 5 to this equation. We didn't have to solve it. We got the answer. Now, let me show you my way. My way is you put the two sides in, and then you graph it. You hit graph. Oh, and I have a crazy window going on here. Sorry about that. Let me fix it. We'll go ahead and let it graph the two lines first. That was the first one. It's blue. There's the second one. It's red. Actually, it's fine. I'll leave it the same and then I'll show you how to change it. The answer is where these two lines cross. So what I do is I say second trace, and the second of trace is calculate. And I go down to number 5, intersect. I can either push 5, the button, or I can arrow down to 5, either one, and hit enter. And it's going to ask me 3 questions, and to all 3, I hit enter. I say it's always like Dorothy with her ruby slippers, clicking them together 3 times, saying there's no place like home, there's no place like home, there's no place like home. But instead we're going to say enter, 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 because they're saying, is this your first curve? And that means your first line, and it's the equation up here, and you say enter. Is this your second line? And it's the equation up here. Now mine are red and blue, so it's easier to see. But even if you've just got the black and white calculator, it will tell you up there where my finger is touching the second equation, and I say enter. And then it says, do you want me to guess? And I most certainly want it to guess, so I say yes, and it tells me the answer is 5, x equals 5. So this works on any equation, no matter how crazy it is. If it has an equals, you can graph them, and then you can say second trace, intersect, and then you push enter 3 times like Dorothy in her ruby slippers, and what x equals is the answer. That is just a beautiful thing. I love it. So you can either use the table if you want to, or you can use the intersect. The problem with the table is sometimes it's not a whole number, and then you have to go back and change your table again and make it 0.1, and then you've got to change it again and make it 0.2, and it's a big old pain. I like the intersect feature better, but this is super, super important that you know how to do, because this is how you can use your calculator to solve for x. Your calculator does not solve for x. If you put in an equation, it doesn't do it unless you do one of these 2 methods. So for your homework, you're going to do the odds, check your answers in the back of the book, and it's really a lot of fun. So if I were you, I would do it both ways. Their way with the table, the way you're supposed to be learning, and I'd do my way too with the intersect, because it's better. I'm just going to say it. It's better. I'm taking a stand. All right. Math is great. Have fun, and see you later.